Hey everybody, PJ Turner, executive producer and host of your Break It Down show. Just checking in. We're waiting on Representative Waltz to come in. Here's the thing: when you book representatives who are working in Congress, oftentimes the fires come up, and so I'm waiting to see his status. There's usually some kind of waiting period when we do these shows, and since we're live, yeah, we got to kind of tolerate some important things because we are talking to someone who works at a federal level as an elected official. I guess just a little bit of housekeeping. Like what we'll do here is one, we just had Gustavo Arellano on the show. He writes for the LA Times, has written for OC Weekly, and just a masterful writer. So just look up the progression in the shows one show back, and you'll see that hella cool dude talks about California history, but he also is a traveler and he explains ethnicity and culture to all of us in a way that is really great. If you don't already subscribe to his newsletter, I definitely recommend that you do that because it's super good. And we always enjoy having people like that on the show who are great at explaining our humanity to us in a way that makes us a little bit more humane because humans suck at that. Let me think. What else can I tell you about? There's a couple of really big guests that are in the pipe, and we're working on, with the holidays and everything else. It takes a little bit of time to get these things sorted, but there's some really, really incredible, like, wow, holy cow, I can't believe, Pete, that you got these kind of guests. And so I'm excited to hopefully be able to share the official news soon enough. I wanted to include in the bottom scroll here the link to my brother's family's GoFundMe campaign. For those of you who don't know, my brother passed away Thursday before last on the 14th. He passed away and leaves behind 3 kids and a wife, my sister-in-law, Angelica, and then 2 daughters that are college age, and my nephew who is 10 years old. And so what they need the most, obviously prayers, condolences, thoughts, all those things. But if you really want to help, that GoFundMe campaign is the best way to directly lead to the help that they need to get them transitioned from having my brother around and to being able to survive not having him around, at least financially. So that's a big help. If you can't find it and you don't want to type the link in here, you can send me a message. You can DM me, text me, email me, Pete@breakitdownshow.com. I'll send you the link, or just type in Eric J. Turner GoFundMe and it should come up. It should be the only one in there. And it's this great picture of him. He's cutting the Thanksgiving turkey with our dad's Claymore sword. It's kind of a ridiculous thing, but that's why you take ridiculous pictures, because ridiculous stuff is ridiculous. And that's always a lot of fun. I'm going to hang in here for a couple of minutes to see if Mike is able to show up. If not, we'll just rebook him. I had to bump him, to be fair, last time because when my brother passed away, I was in no mental condition to do the show. But we'll get there. The big thing, I guess, I want to share when it comes to my brother's life and losing him is, it's really hard. I miss my brother every day. And now that he's not here, I miss him even more because I can't just send him that text that I want to send. And I keep kind of forgetting that he's gone. And so I go to grab, like my brain fires to, hey, grab your phone and send Eric a text. And I can't. Well, I can, but he's not going to get it. And it reminds me that, and I have this saying, if there's people that you can't get enough of, right now, get more of those people, because we just don't know how someone's doing, how long we'll have them, how long we have. Life is right there in front of us. Go and live it. Get out of the house, get out of your silo, get away from the TV, and just go be with people. Even if they're not people we were out this weekend doing a couple different things. We actually went to a funeral for a guy named Mark Waters, who was a pillar in the skateboarding community. And you just saw a bunch of people trying to live in the way that he would live. Being inspired by that guy and the great work that he did in the skateboarding community. Mark was a hell of a dude. Eric was a hell of a dude. And so that's what these times remind me, is that we've got to get out and go encounter our life outside of our life, if that makes sense. Just get out there and go do it. I love going to locally. We have a thing called the Segerstrom Center, and they have symphony and opera and all kinds of fine art things, but also musicals and stuff. I just love musicals to death. And I can't get to that place enough because it's just a place of dreams. And you get to see someone's great work that's traveling around the nation because it's so successful. So you see world-class people doing world-class projects in just a world-class building. And it's right here. It's 15 minutes from my house. Or you get down to the beach or up on that mountain. All these things are close here in Southern California, but wherever you are, whatever that thing is, on that river, with that friend, with your brother, with your cousin, meet someone new, go out and engage life so that your life is engaging. And that, I think, will pay the bills and dividends. I'm going to Let me see here. Let me check my messages real fast. If I don't get something here in the next couple minutes, we'll just reschedule this for another time. The thing we were going to talk to Mike Waltz about, there's two things really. The first thing, and I think importantly, is, as we all struggle with history and tearing down statues and trying to understand what we want to learn about from our own history, our own lineage and our ethnicities, is people like Mary McLeod Bethune, who was an icon. She was a Black lady who, she's been dead for almost 70 years, and we have a new statue to her now, right? Honoring her life and her impact. And if you don't know who she is, I guess you can just type in these words, Bethune and Mary, and she's going to come up. That's how easy it is. Mary McLeod Bethune. If you type that in, you'll see, and you can read about what she did. And again, this is a Black lady in the South who is changing lives for the better constantly. And it's cool that we get to talk about these things and understand that there's always more history. It's not, look, here's the thing on history. It's not that they didn't get taught in high school or whatever. It's on us. If you want to understand who we are, where we come, the good, the bad, everything, you've got to crack a book. Kids are only going to learn so much history. It's not like they're like, hey, we would teach you history today, but we ran out of it. No, there's an abundance. It's a lifelong process, learning and understanding and processing history. So it's neat to have something like this where someone can go by and go, who's that statue? What's that light pole with the plaque on it? What's what are these things? And have that curiosity to go explore. That's how you understand the interesting, complex, and fascinating history of our nation. It's really, really neat. If you go to my Medium account, I just wrote a story about part of my family's history and like our legacy of tragedy and a tragic sudden death. And these are things that I try to share as much as I can, but there's all kinds of people that create things and write things. So I don't want to promote myself too much, but this is my show. So someone's got to promote me. All right, let me see here. All right, I'm going to go for a couple more seconds. If we don't get Mike, we're going to move on to the next thing. What I really want to do is thank all of you guys. If you ever want to support the show, you can go to breakitdownshow.com, go to the PayPal link, just click it, put a little subscription in each month. That money goes to help me buy gas to go on the road, or I just replaced my tires, and that money came from the people who support the show. I didn't buy fancy tires. I bought used tires. They look nice, but I live simply. I live small so I can get on the road, so I can go do these things. If you want to help me, would you buy me lunch? Any of these kind of things. That's how you do it. You don't have to buy me lunch. Just throw some money in each month in the PayPal account, and I will put that money to work and make the show go. That little bit of money, believe me, it goes a long way. And if we doubled it, it would go a long way. And if we quadrupled it, it would go a long way. Believe me, there's a lot of effort involved. And the less I'm doing things that I can hire out, the more I can get on the road, the bigger things, the bigger projects I can take on. And I'm working on several opportunities for big projects. We'll see if they come through or not. But if they do, you'll see even more of me. But that's how you support me. That's what if you're asking, that's how you do it. If you don't care at all, well, then good enough. We're also working on some Zodiac stuff, so that'll be fun. All right. Well, listen, here's what I want to say to you guys. I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. You guys listen to me for 8 minutes rambling on and on. Go to the Break It Down Show on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, and I'll appreciate it. You'll get a lot more from me. We'll get Michael on again. We'll book him, and there's so many other good shows coming up, so don't worry about that. We'll get Michael on. I'll come back to you, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Hey, good to check in, if nothing else. Everybody take care. Hit me at peterbreakitdownshow.com. I'd love to hear from you. Talk to you all later.